building up an operational service type charity is not just a question of the capital cost, though however generous people can be in doing that. People think that, yes, I founded the school, but it was much more a question of setting the ethos, finding the governing body, getting it operational, and in particular recruiting the chief executive, who's still 10 years on and still doing marvels there. A school is not just the physical side, it's primarily intellectual, it's therapy, therapeutic, it's educational, it's measuring children's performance, it's caring, in that this is a residential school, so it's 24/7 care, and training of care staff and educational staff to work together, because there's quite some tension there occasionally. Once it was open, I think my main contribution, and it took a long time getting opened and getting it furnished and all that sort of thing, but my main contribution was really on the spiritual side, to try and make sure that the environs were stimulating and gave a spiritual dimension to the pupils' development. And so I had a lovely time, and I really enjoyed it in a very selfish sort of way, building up a collection of British abstract art which beautifies the whole site. In a 10-acre wild wood, it has many big statues, and there's a PhD study being done on how the pupils react to that. In the main areas, yes, of course, above the mantelpiece, but also in the cleaner's cupboard, and in the kitchens, and the toilets, and the corridors, really using art to help these very vulnerable pupils navigate around the school, give them stimulus, so that some of the pieces are quite hidden away, so that they might only find it after several years at the school, because they haven't been to that area before. And calming and developmental rather than stimulating and challenging. So I still buy works of art for the schools. New dining hall being opened next week, and yes, there's lovely new areas, and I thoroughly enjoy that. The artists that I've chosen were largely ones that I have in my own home, because in commissioning work, I suppose, I choose the artist first, and then spend hours really showing them the school and talking about what we're trying to do there, and that they see the pupils and how vulnerable they are, and why, and the rationale for you're unable to use glass, and you can't glaze things, you can't have sharp points because most of the pupils are epileptic, you know, how to keep it. I mean, the maintenance of an art collection is already quite high, and as a part-time curator now helps with that. But then saying to the artist, choose your site, and I want your best work. And I've got wonderful pieces in that way. And these are, yes, they're established artists. One was an RA, a Royal Commission, but in the main, these are young artists starting out. And because it's contemporary, and I was using the 21st century atmosphere of the art to counterbalance a Queen Anne building, which wasn't what I would have hoped for a school. So I had a lovely time and learned a lot working with a good friend who runs a local gallery, who taught me a great deal about what I was doing.